Hello, hello, hello. Curious Captain's vlog, or whatever we're calling this, because it is on the YouTubes. It is February 10th when I'm recording this, and hopping on just to keep myself accountable. Haven't been doing a ton of coding, but did most recently use Claude to code up a sales page for one of my offers. I'm doing website messaging audits. It's in a beta testing. But I was like, I'm going to make a page for this and I'm going to host it on my website. My website's on WordPress. And I was like, I use Build-A-Beaver on there. And I was like, let me have it code up a page because I don't know if you noticed, I said I had Claude do it. I am leaving ChatGPT, leaving OpenAI, and I'm not seeing hardly anybody talking about this in the actual like coding space, but like OpenAI is objectively the worst. We know that they're like the fucking worst, but they're like objectively the worst. $25 million to Trump. Their software is being used to screen ICE agents, resumes, applications. They're like very anti AI regulation and pushing back on it. And it's just like, stop being the worst. Like, apparently it's so nice. It's so hard, excuse me, to not be the worst. And so Anthropic is less worst. We know the ultimate solution would be running a local model, and I'm not there yet. There are so much information and learning that is afforded by using LLMs. I am not ready to give that up, but I am willing and wanting to do less harm and switch. There is a big lift for me. I have a whole entire podcast called ChatGPT Curious. This is an opportunity to migrate that, switch that, but I have to get a new domain and all the things and the branding around that. So that is a lift. But using Claude, I honestly don't like it as much. But we know there's a learning period. I did a podcast episode coming out this week, about how to switch. My suggestion, if you're watching this and you're wondering about switching LLMs, is not to download all of the data that you have and information that you have inside of with Chat GPT. It's actually to create what we'll call a portable LLM memory document. Have ChatGPT interview you. Have it interview, but have it also answer the questions. That's the easiest way to do it. And then you can just correct the answers that it gives because it does know you. And then it'll spit out, the things that you can just literally say, I want to create a portable LLM memory doc. And it'll do this with you. And then bring that and then upload that to Claude or wherever you're going. Although I couldn't find a place to upload it for Gemini. I also have Gemini because I have Google Workspaces. But I don't like that one as much either. I mean, no, there's growing pains, there's changes. But the biggest thing that I know with Claude is that it has usage limits, which I think is ultimately a good thing. But I'm going to move this a little closer. It is a different thing. And I think that it's actually helpful. Like, these companies are going to come and they're going to do exactly what Uber did, right? The prices, when they're rolled out in order to create lock-in, they drop the prices, they're getting subsidized. And you're like, wow, $20 to go to the airport, whatever. Like, this is amazing. And then the subsidies end and the price goes up to what it's supposed to be. And suddenly you're like, $50 to go to the airport? Or like, I don't know where you live, but like, I live actually relatively very close to LAX. And we're going to see that, I believe, we're going to see that with these LLMs, especially with ChatGPT. Yes, they brought ads to it in order to be able to make money. But from what I'm reading, the majority of the revenue is coming from people that are paying, and there's only like 5% of the users actually pay. So yeah, ads, but also, are we going to see an increase in the price for people that are paying? Like, I wouldn't be surprised. Just because I'm looking at Claude, and like, Claude does have limits. If I'm on the $20 here and you have your session limits and then you have your weekly limits, and I'm like, damn, like, the way I used to just use ChatGPT for anything, just any question. And instead of using Google, I would just be like, cool, I'm going to ask it this thing. What size screw should I be using? I do a lot of like handiwork stuff. I don't want to do that with Claude. I'm like, am I going to use my limits? And then when I want to actually use it for coding stuff, then it's not, I can't use it in the same way. Yes, I am paying for Cursor as well, so I could like access it through there. But that's the next foray, is really getting comfortable with Claude. And why don't I do that right now? And put you on pause and come back and show you what the page looks like. So this is the page that I had it code up. Super simple. I provided the copy for it. I changed the things as well. And like I said, I use Builder Beaver to actually upload the code and where I'm putting it, where I'm adding it. But one thing that was, and I guess it's on me, even though I told Claude that I was using Builder it gave me straight HTML and CSS like mixed together. They have to be separated out. So if we go into Builder here and we look at this, right, the HTML is going to be there, which is like the scaffolding, the structure of the page. And then we go to advanced and we see here's the CSS for what's it going to actually look like. And it gave it to me all in one thing, and that didn't work. And I was like, what's happening? I haven't left OpenAI yet, admittedly. I'm like the thing runs out. And I was like, what is wrong with this? And it's like, yeah, you can't use this, the CSS within this same area, right? The CSS goes in the actual CSS section. But understanding that, and like having gone, if you go watch some of my previous videos when I was learning the difference between HTML and CSS and JavaScript and what goes where and how to change things and what looks like what, that familiarity to me is really cool, because I was like, oh yeah. And then now when I want to like change the button and change what it says here, I know where to go. I know how to do that. Yes, I get it. When you're using a front-facing editor and you're just like click on the things, that's really nice. For me, I find this very fun and interesting, and I will have, Claude generate all of the code for sure. And I give it the text that I actually want, the copy that I want on the page. But I can go and change the things. I can move sections. I feel very comfortable with that. And I can make this look like this, whereas I could not make this look like this with Builder just doing it as modules. So to me, that is really cool. That's the most recent thing that I've done. And again, I really like this aspect of being able to troubleshoot things and be like, oh, I understand this. And oh, I want to change this. And oh, I can move stuff around. I don't think I'm going to break things. And yes, there is a tremendous value of using the LLMs and asking it the questions. But that's been my most recent foray into the coding. So like I said, that is what I have been working on. Last thing, I spent a lot of time on Threads as well. I peruse. And no, SaaS is not dead. SaaS, if you don't know SaaS, software as a service or software as service, it's not dead. There's such marketing bro vibes around everything. We know that the market is marketing bro vibes. It's all just vibes. And do I think it's going to go up? Do I think I can make more money? Am I scared? It's not based on actual things. SaaS is not going to die, right? People don't want to learn how to code. People don't want to learn how to maintain their own things. There's a small subset of people. If you're watching this, hopefully you're one of them. And like, I am one of them, but like the majority of people don't want to. And so these things will always exist. We're entering an age where we will be able to personalize these things and build your own, which is awesome to me. Absolutely phenomenal. I think we can solve a lot of problems at the individual level, but will it be this like grand thing? And we see it's just, again, it comes down to fucking corporate capitalism and extractive capitalism, and people trying to be like, can I, instead of having this big company, can I have like AI do all of this? And if you've actually used AI to build stuff, you're like, no, I cannot do this. Like, it's not going to replace all these people. People are trying to basically minimize that line item that's going to be your people that you're paying and be like, cool, I'm just going to have the computer do this thing, get rid of all these people, and then my profit goes way, way up. It's not how it works. SaaS is not dead. SaaS is not going anywhere. I do think that software in general is going to become more personalized, and perhaps some of these, bigger systems will figure out ways or incorporate ways for you to personalize you to personalize it better. I'm thinking right now, just like little things, you're like, this is fucking annoying. I use a system called Voxer to communicate with my clients, and you don't have the ability to mark a text or message as unread. My girlfriend reached out to them, suggested it. They made it a feature, but they only put it for the tier, and we pay, by the way. They only put it for the tier that's pro and AI. And it's like, I don't need the fucking AI on this. It's just literally text messaging back and forth. I don't need AI in here. Right? And you see people just trying to like squeeze every drop of money out of things. But no, SaaS is not dead. It's not going anywhere. And the ability to customize, personalize things, I think that is what we're going to see. And yes, we'll have at the individual level people like you, people like me that want to code up their own things. I think that I'm genuinely super excited about that. Even just doing something as simple as like making the sales page, which if you've made sales pages, you can do a lot. I use Kajabi. It's like very nice looking, but this is actually faster. Like it wasn't faster before as I was starting to do them early on with things, but now it's faster. I can just have my ideas. I know what I want to look like, and I could actually have it replicate the same thing, no problem, and just change the copy. And that is faster than starting from scratch and like the templates that are on Kajabi and things like that. So you can really personalize things and make it look how you want, which is nice. But does that mean that everyone's going to go and do that? No, most people are just going to use the templates. They're going to have somebody else make it for them because they don't want to do those things. So for folks like you and me who do want to do these things on our own, that's where the beauty of this, what we're seeing, is. That's all I got for today. Gonna go and continue to work with Claude. I'm not a fan. I'm not loving it. And I just see it's just one of the biggest things. There's no custom GPTs. I think those are phenomenal. Being able to share them with your clients. And it's interesting because people talk about it on threads and I'm like, I don't think you actually know what a custom GPT is because you're telling people to use Claude skills and it's not the same thing at all. So I think that there's maybe a way to do it in Gemini, but again, I don't really like Gemini as much. But I just see so many people talking. It's like so much complexity that can be created with LLMs, and especially with Claude and Claude Cowork and Claude Code. And I don't want all that complexity. I watch as people like, they get really excited about it and like doing this thing and this thing and this thing just to like make a Pomodoro timer or some shit. And I'm like, okay, that's great. I'm glad that you did that. And like, it sorted your files, but it also like deleted all your pictures. That's great. I actually love this for people in the tinkering. I don't need all of that. I like to keep things very simple. I like to be able to do things myself. I like to understand things. And this is why I'm going so slow with things. So yeah, those are my thoughts around all the things. We will see where I end up. But I am enjoying and I'm holding myself to making this vlog because it does keep me doing the things. And it's nice. I do actually go back and watch them. So if you're watching, thank you. Would love to hear from you. Drop a comment. Please be nice. This is fun. I hope that you're exploring, giving it a shot. I see people on threads and they just have like literally no idea where to start. I'm not here to teach people where to start. I do want to kind of create this space where people know that they're not alone if they're just starting and that like it can be fun and you can push through. So I'm happy to chat with people. If you go to my earlier videos, you can see where I started. I used some courses and then ChatGPT and Tenacity, but I had 2 courses that I went through that really got me started with it, and I'm happy to share those. Again, they're in the earlier videos, but one of them was Build Your First App by Nat Eliason, and the other one was The AI Accelerator by Kay He. Check them out. It really gave me a great foundation for things, and I hope you enjoy whatever it is that you're doing. All right, Maestro out.